This is absolute genius. Dive into a world of action, adventure, and explosions.
Each show will introduce you to a different genius.
An amazing person who had a genius idea which shaped the world.
And they will inspire us to come up with our own genius idea at the end of each show.
But will it be any good?
Will it be any good?
It'll be absolute genius. On today's show, a genius who transformed the way we communicate.
How wireless saves lives at sea.
Mayday, mayday!
And Dick faces his biggest fear on live radio.
Well, I was so nervous just before the takeoff. Got the instruction just...
Dick, speak to us, Dick.
Hello?
DAD Genius Radio.
And that was a #1 hit back in 1982, don't you know? Welcome to the show.
I'm listening to DAD Radio, and our special guest today really did change the way that we communicate.
Thanks to him, we can send all sorts of information wirelessly as if by magic. And please welcome live to the studio Italian inventor who helped the world go wireless. It's Guglielmo Marconi.
Buongiorno, boys.
Inspired by his genius, we're going to be coming up with our own genius idea later on, and careful kids, it might be mad.
Yes, we're going to attempt an extreme radio broadcast. Not off.
But first, let's find out how it all started.
Today, our whole world is connected. We can communicate with each other almost instantly, pretty much anywhere on the planet. From sending messages on your phone or laptop, to broadcasting live on TV and radio. We can even pick up and transmit signals to outer space.
But hundreds of years ago, these incredible forms of wireless communication didn't exist. And sending simple information took a very long time. You could send smoke signals.
Do you want a burger? Oh, the smoke's saying, do you want a burger? What?
Or you could send your message by carrier pigeon, or even by ship.
But that took forever. If you sent a letter to India in 1840, it would take 2 years to get a reply.
By the time the Italian Marconi was born in 1874, scientists had worked out a much faster way of sending messages.
Along wires running next to railway tracks.
It was called the telegraph. Urgent messages could be sent by Morse code, using electrical signals to spell out words. Short dots and long dashes instead of letters.
Great invention, but the only problem with this was that it needed miles and miles of cable.
Where shall I stick this?
Then scientists began to discover the existence of something even better. Something that's all around us. Radio waves. And this is what excited Marconi.
But what exactly are radio waves?
Fran! Our genius scientist Fran explains things in ways even we can understand.
Whoa!
Best of all, she loves a good experiment.
And she's guaranteed to pop up just when you need her most.
Fran, what are radio waves?
Well, the thing is, in the 1800s, scientists had started to think that there was some kind of invisible wave of energy that could travel from one place to another without wires through thin air. But to show you how this invisible wave of energy moves, I need this, my jelly sweet wave machine.
Jelly sweet wave machine, all right, Wonka.
Can we eat it?
Not yet, not yet. No, but scientists had started to realise that if you had a sudden burst of energy, that energy could travel a distance, like a ripple or a wave, just like this.
Oh, Franny!
It goes from place to place. And that was how the invisible wave of energy could travel.
But if these waves of energy were invisible, how could scientists prove they were real?
They built scientific machines, a bit like this one.
Ah.
And look right there.
Oh,
like it?
bad boy. Look at that. Yeah, that's a lot of electricity.
Now, scientists believed that coming out from that electric spark were invisible waves of energy, and those were radio waves.
But how did they prove that?
Well, if they could make these radio waves do something, say like light up a bulb, then you would know that the radio waves were there and that they existed.
Right. How does it work?
Okay, right. So when I turn it on, there's an electric spark.
Yep.
Then, from that electric spark, that will send out radio waves.
Right.
And those radio waves will go out to this aerial here.
Right.
They'll be detected by that, and they should make this bulb light up. It's quite hard to make
But there's
work.
nothing connecting it to that.
Yeah, no, there's no wires between these two at all.
If you don't believe Fran, we shall prove it. Look, there is nothing in between the two devices. No wires.
Right, should we do it?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, lights off.
Okay.
And hopefully that light will go on. You ready?
Yeah, ready. Hey, look at that! Cool! Hang on, lights on. Are you telling me that when you were pressing that button and simultaneously this was lighting up, there were invisible waves of energy passing from here to here, all within a split second?
Like that was transmitting something to this aerial.
Yeah, they were travelling at the speed of light, actually. They travel that fast, yeah. And they're transmitted from here, received here, so this is called the receiver, and then that lit up the bulb. And that proved that radio waves existed and you could do something useful with them.
And so much technology that we use nowadays was originated from this principle.
Yes.
A radio station transmits the signal from one aerial and our receiver picks it up on its aerial.
Exactly.
So just one more question, Fran, about the whole...
Can we eat it?
What? Jelly sweets?
Yes.
Yeah, go on then.
Yep. Do that. Orange one. Oh, sorry, Fran.
Hey, save some for me.
Marconi spotted a genius opportunity to use radio waves in a practical way. An idea that would revolutionise the way we communicate.
Marconi's genius idea was to put radio waves to good use over long distances. He took existing bits of technology, improved them, and built a brand new wireless system, a way of using radio waves to send messages from one place to another.
It's where modern wireless communication began, from TV and radio to messaging on your mobile. Genius! Marconi needed to show what an amazing idea it was. So, in 1896, he came to the UK and set up a high-stakes demo to prove his wireless machine really did work.
See you, lads.
And who better to spot a good idea when they saw it than the British Army? All right, lads? We're going to recreate that famous demo with these soldiers and... Genius helper Colonel Colin Cunningham from the Royal Signals Museum at Blandford Camp.
Hi, Colin. How you doing?
Hello. You all right, Colin? Why would wireless technology change the British Army so much?
Well, for 50 years, they've been using wires to communicate with, and you had to lay them, and it took a long time to do it. And radio wireless, as it was called at the time, gave them the opportunity to go from point to point instantaneously.
What did he really want to achieve with his genius idea?
He wanted to make money. He could see the potential in this technique, and he wanted to develop it to make money.
So what are we going to try and do today?
We are going to recreate the demonstration that he did on Salisbury Plain in July 1896.
Yeah.
And he got together senior people from the Army, the Navy and the Post Office, all of whom were interested in long-distance communication.
So really, this was his Dragon's Den sales pitch. He was the entrepreneur trying to sell his idea, and they were all the dragons.
Yeah, and he was going to try and demonstrate it over a significant distance, significant in those days. He had the vision, and he knew he could make something work.
Yeah.
And what he was going to do was develop it.
Ah, right, so this is it. Colin, can you explain what we've got here?
Now, this is a recreation of Marconi's transmitter using modern components. So if I press this, I'll send a signal from here to there.
Yep.
And you'll hear the switch make the bell ring.
Oh yeah, you can hear it switching.
Now lift it up.
Yeah.
Step back a couple of paces.
Isn't that weird?
Bring it back.
Right. So its range is only really a third of a metre or something
very
like
short.
that.
Yeah.
So this works in a similar way to Fran's demo. But we're going to try and send those radio waves even further. So then what did Marconi do? What was his genius?
He put an aerial on the transmitter and an aerial on the receiver. And these were bits of wire, 70 or 80 feet long, and he held them up by kites.
Oh, see, so the higher the aerial, the
Yep.
longer the range.
Yeah. Now, we don't have kites, but we are using a helium balloon.
Look at the size of that one, Colin. It's a whopper.
Mamma mia!
Don't pop it, no!
Forgot we're at an army camp.
That's great.
So when we press this button, it's going to send a radio wave from here all the way down to the other antennae over there.
And all the way round here.
Oh, okay.
OK, so it probably works out best if Rich stays here with you and I go down there with the lads, yeah?
Okay.
All right, look at the lads. All right, lads.
No, they're having none of it today, are they?
No, I'll just make my own way down there. See ya. Potholes everywhere.
Marconi, ready?
Dick, I was born ready.
Dudes. OK. Ready?
Right, this is it, the big moment. Will the simple action of me pressing this Morse key send a radio signal 30 metres up in the air, 100 metres that way, 30 metres back down and ring that bell? Let's find out.
3, 2, 1. Yeah! It worked!
That is actually unbelievable. It's instant.
Do it again! See that? It was amazing.
I am gobsmacked. No, I mean, no wonder they were gobsmacked on the day and they thought this was total genius, because it is Marconi. I mean,
It's mechanical components. I can stop it now. All right, I'm getting the idea.
by increasing the height of the aerials, just like Marconi, we've proved you can send messages over longer distances without wires. And after a few tweaks, Marconi's wireless system began to be used in combat by the Navy and the Army.
But Marconi didn't stop there. In 1901, he attempted something many scientists thought was impossible.
From my earliest experiments, I had always held a belief that the day would come when mankind could be able to send messages without wires between the furthermost ends of the earth.
Marconi raised his transmitters and receivers more than 60 metres high and sent a wireless message from Cornwall 2,100 miles across the Atlantic Ocean to Canada.
It was a genius moment. Marconi had reached new heights, and thanks to him, the whole world would one day become connected wirelessly.
And here are some more wonderful wireless facts.
It's the Genius Top 5!
At 5, radio waves make it round the planet because they bounce off the ionosphere, part of the Earth's atmosphere. That's how Marconi got his wireless signal across the Atlantic.
At 4, radio waves can travel at the speed of light, almost 186,000 miles per second.
3, on Christmas Eve 1906, Canadian inventor Reginald Fessenden transmitted the first wireless radio broadcast using the human voice. It was heard by ships hundreds of miles away.
2, objects in deep space can send out radio waves, so can the sun and bolts of lightning.
And at 1, radio waves helped save more than 700 lives when the Titanic sunk in 1912. Marconi's wireless system was used to send distress signals so survivors could be rescued.
So, Marconi's wireless system saved lives at sea. Fact. And it was right here in Cornwall where the very first ship's distress signal was received.
To tell us more, genius helper David Barlow from the Lizard Marconi wireless station. He's a massive Marconi fan.
Wow, look at this. This is incredible. So this is where all the magic happened.
This is called the Marconi Bungalow.
No, really?
Bogies!
Dick and Dom in the
Marconi bungalow.
In the Marconi bungalow.
Yes.
How about that?
Oh,
but
yeah.
what was the most significant thing that he actually did right at this spot?
Well, one of the most significant things must be he received the first provable SOS ever sent. And this was before the Titanic, 2 years before the Titanic. A man was in this very hut, and he was receiving signals from a ship called the SS Minnehaha.
That's nice.
Who said, we might need help. Stand by. SOS. SOS. And there it is.
Look at that.
So this was the first ever SOS?
It's the first ever provable SOS that was ever sent. In days before Marconi, people got lost at sea. Today, you usually know where people are.
All because of that man's brains.
All because of that man's brains.
We've got to go somewhere else to find out more about Marconi's SOS distress signals. And I've heard that pool is very nice at this time of year.
Pool? I love Poole! Poole in Dorset, home to Europe's largest natural harbour, the art of pottery, and the RNLI's Lifeboat College.
The Royal National Lifeboat Institution runs a 24-hour search and rescue service.
Humber Coast Guard, Humber Coast Guard.
Its volunteer lifeboat crews rely on radio to communicate with the Coast Guard and boats in distress. Those radios are the modern-day version of Marconi's original wireless system.
We're going to experience our own emergency in the RNLI's Sea Survival Pool. We'll have to rely on a radio to call for help. And to assist us, it's Genius Helper and RNLI trainer Matt Cridland.
But before we can put Marconi's genius to the test, we need to abandon ship.
So this is our ship. It's had a little accident and it's sinking, and we need to get safely into the water.
And this is as high as it would be if you were about to jump off a ship.
Potentially, yeah.
Pretty
possibly.
high, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the safest way of doing this?
Okay, so we have got a technique to look after ourselves, and what we're going to do is clamp our noses and make a cup over our mouth.
Right. We can't breathe.
Yeah. And with our other hand, we're going to hold that elbow in nice and tight.
Right.
And then a nice big safe step off.
Okay. What if your back leg freezes?
You're going to fall. Taking my position.
Yeah.
One final check, and then just a nice stab out. Ready?
No. I'm not ready.
Cool. Put your toes on the orange line.
Psych it up. Don't know how that's going to help. Just get in! Get back there!
Okay,
hold on to the
deal is, I'll count down from 10 and then you just do it. Don't
Okay,
think about
wait.
it. 'Cause the more you think about it, the worse it's going to get.
So that's fine. Don't worry about your feet
9,
now. Look
8,
straight up.
7,
Clamp your hands.
6,
look forward.
5,
Just step forwards.
4,
when you're ready.
3,
off
2, 1,
step forwards.
go! What was it like? Brilliant! Nice!
Are you ready? Look forwards and step forwards. Off you go.
1, 2, 3. What? Bizarre! It's just stopped! Hang on a minute. Huh?
I'll count like that means that works. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't do it! After all that, and I just said to you, I can't let me jump off. Oh my goodness. Literally, it's like someone's got hold of a rope on my back and this is pulling me.
And again. 3, 2, 1.
I can't believe it. Dick's the one who's scared of heights, not me.
Things are getting choppy. Time to haul ourselves into the life raft.
In the days before Marconi found a way for ships to send wireless SOS signals, there was little way of calling for help.
He's in!
When you left shore, you were on your own.
Yeah, we've got a bit of rain starting now. I think the weather's starting to get a bit worse for us.
Thanks to Marconi and his wireless invention, we're able to radio for help.
Mayday! Mayday! Mayday!
Now we can be saved.
Don't worry, we'll be taking a helicopter. They'll be getting airborne very shortly and they'll be sent to your location, over.
And not a moment too soon.
Can't we just double inflated our jacket?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you up there.
Yeah.
In 2012, RNLI lifeboat crews saved 328 lives, helped by modern radio communication. The Coast Guard, the RNLI, and ships in distress, all able to communicate instantly during an emergency. Well, hopefully that is the closest we're going to experience being in the sea, in the thunderstorm, in a life raft, and being rescued by the RNLI and the Coast Guard. It was an incredible operation, but it was all down to that, really.
Yeah, all down to Marconi and his wireless radio system.
So that's Dick and Dom.
Genius.
Over now.
We've seen how radio waves can send signals without wires.
Radioed for help using the modern-day version of Marconi's wireless system.
And discovered how height helps radio waves go further.
Yeah! It worked!
That's inspired us to go even higher too with a wireless challenge. It's time to reveal our genius idea. We're going to take radio communication to the next level.
No, we aren't. You are. And here's how. Our genius idea to do an extreme radio broadcast. Dick will transmit from a hang glider up to 150 metres high, down to me on the ground, transmitting back to the studio, and then live all over Cornwall.
My challenge, to keep talking even though I'm petrified.
Our problem, we might fall off air.
And I might be too scared to speak.
Getting Dick off the ground is genius helper and instructor Graham Phipps, who used to hang glide for Great Britain.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Graham, how you doing? All right?
Hi, Dom.
Now,
Doing fine.
I've never done anything like this before. What do I need to know?
All you need to know, Dick, is relax.
I don't feel relaxed.
No, you don't feel relaxed?
No.
We'll make you relaxed in the air.
I'm really scared of heights. I mean, how high are we going to be going?
We're going to take you today, I would guess up to probably 400 or 500 feet, maybe a little more.
But that's on par with the seagulls that you see right up there, yeah?
We'll be up with the seagulls, maybe even looking down on them.
That is amazing. Now, just out of interest, because we can't really tell from here, there's kind of a slight slope and then there's some green bushes. What's the other side of the green bushes?
The other side of the green bushes is a very steep slope.
Right.
That's a cliff?
That's a cliff. Yeah, that's another
wow.
word for it, but I didn't like to say.
Okay.
I've seen a hang glider take off before and, you kind of run and then off you go. But what if I panic and want you to stop before we get to the edge?
We don't stop.
We don't stop?
We don't stop, Dick. We keep going. We will take off, trust me.
Right.
Wow. You do your part, I'll do mine. It'll be fine.
Right.
Rather you than me, Dickie boy.
While Dick psychs himself up, here's a not-so-genius thing to do on live radio. It's the not-so-genius idea! In 1938, a performance of the famous sci-fi story War of the Worlds was broadcast live on radio. Fake news reports warned of Martians invading Earth. But things got out of hand when frightened listeners mistakenly thought it was a real alien attack.
Our broadcast is about to go out live on BBC Radio Cornwall in one of the busiest programmes of the day, Drive Time.
Aspiring so close to the fight.
Dick will wear a small radio transmitter which will send his voice down to our receiver and transmitter on the ground.
And thanks to modern wireless communication, our extreme radio report will be heard live all over Cornwall.
Dick and Dom are attempting an extreme radio broadcast for their new series of CBBC's Science.
Just a few seconds left. How are you feeling?
Genius.
Awful. Awful? Mm-hmm. It's very windy.
But for once, wind is Dick's friend, because he needs gusts of up to 28 miles an hour to take off.
I don't know whether I'm cold or absolutely bricking it.
Hopefully, we can speak to them now. So how terrified are you?
It's not me that's, worried at all. It's my colleague, it's Dick, who is absolutely terrified.
Yes, I don't usually do these kind of stunts for the programme, and I'm now standing next to a hand glider, ready to launch myself off a cliff over the sea.
Are you ready, though?
I think I'm ready now, but I just want to go for it, get it over and done with.
I tell you what, Joe, would you be okay talking to me whilst we strap Dick into the hang glider He's got a team of experts around him to make sure everything's going to be fine. So far, so good. But we need to get this broadcast off the ground before Dick changes his mind. His hang glider is facing into the wind. He's right on the cliff edge.
So nervous.
Here they go. They're running forward. They're going up in the air and they're off!
No.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing! Joe, I don't know, can you hear Dick?
Ah, yes, I can now, yes.
Can you hear me, Dom?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rich. And Joe, can you hear Rich?
Oh, poor lad,
Wow.
yes.
This is exhilarating, to say the least.
It's working! Dick is broadcasting over the radio waves from 150 metres in the air, and the studio is receiving him loud and clear.
Bellissimo, Dick! Bravo!
Rich, how did the takeoff feel?
Well, I was so nervous just before the takeoff. My heart was beating so fast, I was closed my eyes and got the instruction just...
Oh.
He's just gone out of range, Joe, I think. We spoke too soon. The hang glider's flown too far from our receiver on the ground, too far for even today's technology.
But just when they thought I'd gone for good,
What a relief!
Speak to us, Dick.
Hello? Can you hear us, Rich?
Oh, man, it is so high!
Are you actually enjoying it?
Weirdly, yes. I don't know why. But I suppose the most amazing thing about this is, Dom, that Marconi's wireless technology is shining through.
What a mate. Well, listen, we're going to hand back to Joe now. I've spent as much time as you want up there. We'll see you in a bit.
Thank you, boys.
All right, mate. See you later.
Bye. Bye, Joe.
Splendid stuff.
We've discovered how Marconi used radio waves to help the world go wireless.
seen for ourselves how his genius is still saving lives,
and pulled off an extreme wireless challenge, which might just have cured Dick's fear for heights. When you're trying to describe someone's genius ideas, sometimes words aren't enough. Sometimes you have to actually get out there and do it.
And I had to do that, but I actually loved it. So there's only one thing left to say, and that is, Guglielmo Marconi, you are an absolute genius.
Hey, grazie, Dick and Dom.
Smack me in the face!
Dom's.
Oh no! What are you doing? Let me get it straight! Oh, what's all that?